Hello everyone. We will continue today from the previous class where we have discussed about W reinforced beam, the first part. Now, in the second part, we will discuss about how to design or how to calculate the area of compression steel. So, in the previous part, I think we have discussed about what is the stress in the compression steel, which is nothing but FSC, which is a stress in steel, minus 0.447 FCK, which is the stress in concrete. So the difference between the yield stress of the steel in the compression zone and the stress in concrete will give you the additional stress that the steel is going to take, because to take care of the excess amount of moment that is going to come in a doubly reinforced beam. Okay, so now I think in the previous class we have already discussed how to find out AST limit. If you remember, AST limit is nothing but the steel corresponding to MU limit. We have calculated MU limit, right? So corresponding to MU limit, you will get the AST limit, and that value comes out to be 1.273 into 10 to the power 3 mm square. As well as we have also tried to find out what is the percentage of limit steel, that is 1.191%. Okay, so now let's go to the calculation of steel ASC, that is compression steel. So before going into the design or calculating the compression steel, you have to find out what is D dash. I think I have explained to you what is D dash. D dash is nothing but the distance. That means if this is the beam section, if it is these are compression reinforcement, then this D dash is the effective cover for the compression reinforcement. Okay, this is the distance from the top fiber to the center of the compression reinforcement, which is given by D dash. So here D dash will be how much? 25 mm. That is what clear cover we have assumed. I think in table 5, if you refer, I think you will get it 30, so you can assume it to be 30 mm here also. Okay, so for the sake of continuity, I have assumed that 25 mm, so I am going to continue with this, but you can assume the clear cover as 30 mm, which is as per table 5. Now here 25 mm clear cover, then 8 mm of stirrup diameter, then 20 mm by 2, that is the center of the center of the compression reinforcement. We have assumed 20 mm compression steel. Okay, so the total D dash value that comes out to be 43 mm. And what is the XU max value or XU limit value? That is 171.36 mm. That is we have already calculated. What is XU limit? XU limit is how much? 0.48 into D for Fe415 grade, right? So you can easily find out what is XU limit. Now you have to find out what is the strain. What is the strain in concrete? That is, I have already discussed in the figure here. I have told you that the strain in concrete as well as the strain in steel, that is sigma SC, should be same. So that is why this is important for us. So we have to find out what is this value. How to find out? If you take the similar triangle concept, you can find out sigma SC, because epsilon SC by 0.0035, that is the strain, is equal to, here this is how much, from here to here it is XU max, and here to here it is D dash, right? So if I'm taking epsilon SC first, then it should be XU max minus D dash, right? This distance is nothing but XU max minus D dash. And what is this distance? This is XU max or XU limit basically. So this equation can be used to find out epsilon SC, right? So that same equation I think we have used. See here, yes, this one. Okay, same equation. So you can find out what is the strain at the concrete at the level of the compression steel, which is, this is basically, this is strain in concrete as well as the strain in steel also, which is 0.003. Why we cannot change the strain value? Because if the strain value is different, then the steel and the concrete will behave as different material. It will not behave as a same material, because in that case the steel will come out, or the steel will come out of the concrete if the strains are not same. So the strain is here. So according to the stress, what is according to the strain, what is the stress value that you have to calculate? FSC. As per this strain value, what is the stress? Okay, that stress value can be found out from the stress strain graph. The stress strain graph is already given in IS 456. If you remember, I have already shown you this particular graph. This is the linear portion. See, this is the linear portion, and then it bend and it becomes, this is the yield state. This is actually design, because Fy by 1.15. This is the partial safety factor, right? This is the actual curve. This is the design curve, and if you draw any line parallel to the line of or the linear line or the linear portion of the stress strain graph, then you can find out at different location what are the different stresses. So these are the strain portion. This is a for our case the strain we have got is 0.003. So this is 0.002 point, this is 0.004 point. So 003 point will come somewhere here, right? So you have to draw a line parallel to the straight portion of the stress strain graph, and then from here you can find out what is the value of your stress value. But as you can see, this graph is not very accurate. So there are certain tables available. I have taken this table from Pilla and Menon book. You can take a Xerox of it, and this table shows you at different strain level what are the stresses. Okay, so for our case the strain is 0.003 here, 0.003. For 0.0027 it is given already. For Fe415 is 351.8, and greater than 0.0038 is 360, right? So for, you can do, if you want, you can do the interpolation as well, but for being simple, to make it simple, we can assume directly the lesser value, because if I consider lesser value it will be in the safer side. But you can also do the interpolation as well. So that value we have taken, we have got FSC as 352. I have just 351.8, which is 352. Okay, so now here you can see these are the clauses, or this is the portion from Annexure Z where we can find out how to calculate the ASC. Okay, I think we have already discussed. You have to find out the difference between the mu minus mu limit, that we have already done, and that will should be equal to FSC ASC d minus d dash. Okay, then what is FSC? FSC should be corresponding to this particular strain, the design stress in compression reinforcement corresponding to the strain of this much. Okay, how to find out this strain? I've just now discussed with you. Then the other things, this one, the total area of tension reinforcement shall be obtained from the following equation: AST is equal to AST1 plus AST2. What is AST1? AST1 is corresponding to mu limit. Here it is written. AST1 is the area of the tensile reinforcement for a singly reinforced section for mu limit. That is AST1. In the figure also we have discussed. And what is AST2? This is the equivalent of the compression steel that you have provided in the compression phase. Okay, that means you have to provide an equivalent amount of steel in the tension zone of the steel that you have provided in the compression zone. Okay, so that is ASC2 can be find out ASC into FSC by 0.87 Fy. Okay, this is how you have to find out the AST2. AST1 is here, then you can find out AST. Okay, so this is how you have to find out the AST2. AST2 is equal to ASC into FSC divided by 0.87 Fy. Now let's do our calculations. Here ASC is mu minus mu limit by FSC into d minus d dash, just the equation that we have got. Also, I think you have understood how we can do this. This is the moment, so stress, or here this is moment, mu minus mu limit, the excessive moment that is applied is equal to the force into the lever arm. What is force here? Force is ASC into FSC. This is the force, this becomes the force, and lever arm is becomes d minus d dash, right? Because suppose this is the beam section, this is the compression steel, this is the tension steel, so this distance is nothing but d minus d dash. Okay, I would suggest that always you should remember, or you should keep the figure of the beam or the cross section of the beam before your eyes, okay, so that you can understand all the equations. So if you understand this equation, there is no need to remember. Otherwise you have to remember everything. So if your concept is clear, that these equations are not that a big deal. So like that, you have to find out the ASC, which comes out to 516.3 sorry 839 mm square. This much of steel in the compression engine that you have to provide. Then you have to find out the total area of steel that you are going to provide at the bottom. That is AST1, which is already we have calculated. That is actually AST limit, which is this much. And AST2 you have to calculate ASC into FSC divided by 0.87 F5, which comes out to be 503.884 mm square. And the total AST is become AST1 plus AST2, which is 1.779 into 10 to the power 3 mm square. Okay, so this is how we have calculated the ASC and AST, that is compression steel as well as tension steel. So now there is nothing, no much of work left. Now we have to just find out how many numbers of bars are required. Okay, calculation of bars and spacing and all. So for AST, suppose take we are considering 20 mm bar. If I am considering 20 mm bars, then how many steel bars are required? Around 6 numbers of bars will be required. AST by the area, cross section area of 20 mm bar, around 6 numbers of bars are required. But the size of the beam is 300 mm, right? The size is 300 mm, and even after removing the clear cover, effective cover on both the side, I think 6 number of bar will be very congested to be placed over in an area of 300 mm width, right? So that is why let us change this 20 mm to 25 mm. Let's go to some higher diameter bars. Then we get around 3.6 mm. So sorry, 3.6 numbers. That means approximately 4 number we have to provide. So let's see whether 4 number we can provide it here or not. So for that, you have to find out the spacing. So we will do that in the later on. So let us provide 4 numbers of 25 mm bar. Okay, so what is the ASC provided here? How much area of steel we have provided, which is 4 into 4 numbers of bar into area, cross section area of the bar, right, which comes out to be 1.963 10 to the power 3 mm square. Okay, which is basically definitely more than AST, and AST provided becomes 1.832%. Okay, now let's see the spacing criteria is satisfied or not. Let's see that. Yeah, here spacing. So here we have a width of B was 300 mm minus 2 into 25 plus 8, that is basically I have subtracted the effective depth, okay, to the edge. That means here this was 25, then we had a stirrup, so that is 8, so total is 25 plus 8 by into 2, both from both the side you have to subtract that. Then we have the diameters of the bar, so which is 4 numbers of diameter of bars are there, so 4 into 25 mm bar, so that means of area will be left, and the spacing should be 4 minus 1. As there are 4 numbers of bar, the spacing will be 3. Sorry, the spacing available between 4 bar is basically 3, right? 4 minus 1. So the spacing becomes 44.667 mm, right? And what are the minimum spacing criteria as per clause 26.3.2? Whether it should be maximum dia bar. Okay, maximum dia bar. It's, I think this should be 20 mm. Sorry, I should not 20 mm, it should be 25 mm, because we are providing 25 mm bar, right? And nominal, or the second option is with 25 plus 5 mm, sorry 20 mm, which is the nominal size of the aggregate, and the 5 mm addition you have to do, that is 25 mm. So out of this two, what is the minimum? Basically 25 mm itself. So but the available spacing is 44.6 mm, so obviously it is more than what is required. So I think we can provide 4 numbers of 25 mm bars. Okay, this is done. Then we have to go for the tension, sorry, we have the tension reinforcement is done. Then you have to go for compression reinforcement. Let's see that. So how many numbers of compression reinforcement will be required? So assuming 20 mm bar, so around 1.6, that means almost 2 numbers of bars will be required. So let us provide 220 mm bar at the top of the section as a compression reinforcement. Okay, and what is ASC provided? ASC provided 2 numbers of bar into area, cross section area of the bar, of the cross section area of the this one, um, cross section area of the bar. So here we have used 20 mm bar, so it should be 628 mm. And what is the AST provided? AST provided is 5.586%. This is ASC provided. That means percentage of compression steel that is provided to the section. And here ASC is 628 mm square. This much of steel you have provided. Okay, so here we have seen that the total numbers of bar that is required for the compression phase is 1.6. That means almost two numbers of bars are required. And what is the actual area of compression steel provided? That is 628 mm square. And if you find out the percentage of steel of compression steel, that it comes out to be 0.586 mm square, right? Now we have to check whether the reinforcement that we have provided at the top and bottom comes out to be a under reinforced section or an over reinforced section. For that, let's check that. So here check for design of the section whether you are doing an under reinforced and over reinforced. But during all our assumptions, we have seen that in the subsequent stages we have either changes the diameter of the bar or we have changes certain things. But finally, while actual checking, we have to find out what is the actual the effective depth as well as what is the actual stress in the steel. So for that, let's find out what is the actual effective depth, which is capital D, that is overall depth, minus the clear cover, minus the diameter of the stirrup, minus half of the bar diameter of the main bars. So which comes out to be 354, and DDoS is already, as at the top we have provided, sorry, here it should be 25, because we have provided a clear cover of 25 mm all along. So 25 mm clear cover plus 8 mm, 8 mm stayed up plus 20 mm diameter at the top. So the DDS comes out to be 43 mm. So if you find out what is the strain and the that is epsilon SC, that comes out to be 0.003. And from the table you can find out the stress in the steel or the compression steel is 352 MPa. The previously also we had the same strain. Then we have to find out what is PC dash. Actually, this equation has been derived from the drawing of the stress diagram or the stress block that we have discussed in the previous class. As you can see here, in this particular drawing, we have discussed about the stress block of the beam with the compression steel as well as tension steel. So if you combine these two stress blocks, you can find out what is the for a balance section where where compression force should be equal to tensile force. You can find out the equivalent or the equilibrium equations. Okay, so from that, basically the PC dash, that means for a balance section how much of percentage of compression steel should be required, that can be calculated. And this equation you can derive if you want, but I would suggest you to remember this particular equation, and you will get this equation in the book of Pilla and Menon as well. So this equation stands for like this: 0.87 Fy PST provided, that means how much of PST you have provided minus what is the PT limit, that is this is as per MU limit, and this is as per what is we have provided considering MU. Okay, MU minus MU limit. Okay, this much of what you have provided. Okay, sorry, this is PST limit, so basically it will be finally what you have provided, that is AST is equal to AST1 plus AST2. That is how you have calculated AST, and what is how finally whatever AST provided, the tension steel you have provided, that should be taken as PST, that is percentage of steel over here, and PT limit is the what is the percent of steel corresponding to the MU limit that you have to consider. Then the stress in the compression steel, which is FSC minus 0.447 FCK, and if you then you will get for balance section how much of compression steel, percentage of compression steel is required, and that is 0.68. okay, if this value, if PC dash, if this as this is the limit for balance section, if PC dash value comes out to be more than whatever PC you have provided or percentage of steel you have provided, then it becomes an under reinforced section. Under reinforced section. But the percentage of steel that is required for a under reinforced section or for a balance section if this PC dash value comes out to be less than PC, um, sorry, this should be, the previous one should be, this should be over reinforced case, this should be over reinforced case, and this should be under reinforced case. That means if PC dash is found to be less than PC that you have provided, then it should be under reinforced section. So over here, let us see here. So here the PSC provided, how much we have provided here? 0.58, 0.586, right? 0.586 we have provided here, 0.586, which is less than basically 0.068. So if this is the case, then you have to, in that case, the section will be over reinforced. Okay, in that, if the PSC provided is comes out to be less than the PC dash, then the section will be over reinforced. Another way what you can do, if you found that this equation is very tough to remember, you can actually find out, or you can calculate this particular equation from the figure that we have discussed in the just now. Okay, the figure that we have discussed over here, this figure, if you remember this figure, actually we can find out for balance section how, what is the equilibrium equations here. So this equilibrium equation is basically nothing but, at balance section the compression force should be is equal to the tension force. Okay, the compression force should be equal to the tension force. C, tension force equal to compression force. So here tension force is nothing but 0.87 Fy AST provided, right? That should be equal to, that is 0.36 FCK Vxu. This is for the concrete portion. This is the stress, compressive stress in the concrete, and this is the compressive stress in the steel. Okay, FSC minus 0.446 FCK into ASC provided. Okay, so from here actually you can find out what is the value of XU, and here also you can find out that XU by D is actually 0.517. You already know that if this XU by D value comes up to be more than the XU limit by D, which is 0.48, then the section is over reinforced. So basically, whether this check you do or the previous check you do, you can do any one check and you can see whether the section is over reinforced or under reinforced. So for here, in this case, we have got that XU by D is 0.517, which is basically greater than 0.48. So this section is an over reinforced section. As you know that over reinforced section is not allowed as per IS 456. So you have to redesign the section. So how to redesign? Basically we have to change the percentage of compressive steel. Okay, so for balance section, we just now we have got that percentage of steel PC dash should be how much? 0.68. okay, it should be 0.68. just now we have calculated PC dash. Then you can find out what is the area of steel of corresponding to PC dash, how much of area of steel will be required, which is PC dash by 100 into BD, which is 722.882 mm square. So if you find out for numbers of 20 mm bar, how many number of bar will be required, it is come out to be around 2.3. so approximately 3 numbers of bars you have to provide. So in that case, basically this, as this have already calculated, so another check is not required. So if you provide this 3 numbers of 20 mm bars at the top, the section is definitely going to be an under reinforced section. Okay, so next is the design for shear. So the shear design is basically same, exactly same what we have designed, what we have done in single reinforced beam. You have to find out the VU first, as we have calculated earlier itself. Then you have to find out tau V, what is that is stress, design stress, which is 0.973. Then you have to check for what is the maximum shear stress permissible, that is tau C max from the table 20, which is 3.1 MPa, which is basically more than 0.973. So it is okay, there is no problem in this. Now we have to check whether the percentage of steel that you have provided in the tension zone is sufficient to take this particular tau V value. So here AST provided is how much? It is basically 0.832% that we have provided AST. So for this particular AST, what is the value of tau C value that you have to calculate? So as per the table 20, you can find out what is the tau C value. the tau c value is come out to be 0.793. so this basically this step is exactly similar with that we have done in simply supported. So I'm just going fast. So tau v is 0.973 and tau c is 0.793. So what does it mean? That is a design strength is or design shear stress is basically more than what is the design strength the section has, the strength the section has. So basically we have to, that means we have to go for the shear design here. So we have to provide shear reinforcement. So shear reinforcement will be calculated as per this equation, that is clause number 40.4, which is this one. This equation you have to use. You can find out what is the spacing. SV is 0.87 Fy ASV by D, and ASV is nothing but the cross sectional area of the stirrups. So it comes out to be 671, which is basically very high. And then you have to find out what is the maximum spacing of the shear reinforcement that is permissible as per IS 456 clause 26.5.1.5. Here I think you have already remember that it should be 0.75D or it should never be more than 300 mm. So 0.75D is basically 265 mm and 300 mm. In between these two, the whatever minimum is you are getting, that you have to provide. So here as we are getting 265 mm, that is 0.75 into D, so we are going to provide a 8-legged 8 mm bar, 8 mm 2-legged bar or stirrups for spacing at a spacing of 200 mm center to center. So this, I think this would be able to take the excess amount of shear that is coming to the section. So with this actually we can conclude the design of the double reinforced beam. And if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask. And with this I would like to conclude today's class. Thank you.